Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk from Dallas. I am at my friend Abby's house. For those of you who have read The Southern Education of a Jersey Girl, you may recognize Abby's name from a couple of places, but especially the chapter where I meet Thomas. Abby and I have been friends, 15 years, and she had a baby 6 months ago, so I'm meeting him for the first time, and he's delicious, and I ate him up yesterday. Oh my word. But let me tell you the craziest thing. For the first time ever, and I'll be 40 in October, my mom said this would happen, but for the first time ever, I appreciated a baby and didn't wish that I had one. Like, was actually happy that I'm not in that stage anymore. I didn't believe that would ever happen to me. Like, I thought I was going to long for another baby forever because the longing was it was like chemical. It was like a chemical desire. I can't explain it. But those of you who have felt it know what I'm talking about. Anyway, her and the baby are still sleeping. So I don't know how to make coffee in her apartment or in her house. So I'm basically doing coffee talk with no coffee. And I'm like, what day is it? So I was laying in bed this morning thinking about the changes that we make in our life, how hard it is to make changes that are good for us. And so often we think making the change is the hard part because there's so much leading up to actually taking the steps to make the change that we don't anticipate the struggle of the follow through. Okay? Jamie, what do you mean? I'm going to tell you. Glad you asked. Who's making all that ruckus? I heard, what ruckus, sir? I heard a ruckus. Can you describe the ruckus? Who knows that movie? Anyway, how many times we know that we have to say, end a relationship or a friendship, let's just say, and the anticipation of actually doing it causes us so much anxiety, and it takes us so long to get to the place where we actually do it that we think that's the hard part. We don't take into account how hard the follow through is, how hard the struggle with that void now is, how consuming it is mentally and emotionally to move on from somebody or something, a friendship or a relationship, because we're so focused on the actual doing of the deed. I'm here to tell you, as somebody who has ended numerous friendships and relationships, although I will say I stayed way past the expiration date. Most of them should have been ended light years before I finally got up the nerve to do it. As someone who's lived through it, the follow through is 1,000 times harder than actually being brave enough to do it, to end it. And again, this is just one thing I'm talking about. It's even quitting smoking or whatever. It's always, the hard part is always saying out loud, this is what I'm going to do. It's the follow through that, for me, that's like the hardest. Because that is when you feel the real effects of your decision. You know, saying, okay, today I'm ending my friendship with so-and-so because it's time for her to go. That's hard. But you're not really feeling the effects of anything. It isn't until you get, especially, this is brutal, in love and friendship, when you get far enough away from it, your mind starts playing tricks on you. It starts remembering the good times. It somehow conveniently remembers all the tears and the heartache. And your mind starts going, maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe we should give them one more shot. maybe we should just check their social media to see how they're doing, or send them a friendly, lighthearted, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl text that, doesn't say too much but says just enough. And I can assure you, this is when it gets hard. This is when you have to put the work in. When you start to feel those things, when you start to miss them, and you start to forget how damaging they were to you, and how hard you were working for their approval, attention, love, whatever, and they weren't giving it back to you, or the lies they told, or the advantage they took of you, or whatever it is, I promise you, leopards don't change their spots. So as you are struggling with the follow through, and you start to think about all the good times, and like, maybe it'll be different now that I've put some 2 whole weeks between us, I promise you it will not be different. And I understand how hard the follow through is. So when you are thinking about making a change in your life, any significant change in your life, change is scary, follow through is hard, but that is how you get to the next phase of your life. So push through it. I have ended friendships where I have missed the person so bad that I go back and read old happier time like text messages and videos, and like Facebook will time hop and show me where I was 2 years ago with this person, and I think, oh my God, how interesting that someone I loved so much, who played such a big part of my life, is now a stranger, and I don't know anything about her. Even when people keep asking me why we don't speak, I don't comment because I don't know anything about her life anymore. But this is what I mean. Like, you have to get through it and realize that you know what is best for you. You are the president and CEO of you, and you know what is best to run your brand, company, life best. So trust that, but no, it will not be easy. Ooh, the follow through, so hard. Making the decision is hard. The follow through is like 10 times harder. All right, I'm going to find coffee, and then I think I'm going to go for a walk in Dallas. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to walk. For those of you coming tonight, I will be at the Abby Farron flagship store from 5:30 to 7:30. I can't wait to see anybody. I hope Dallas really shows up. I love you guys so much today. Have a great day.